I wish I could show you a photograph of Troy. But here's what it was like. Walk through the Scaean gates, and the first thing you'll see is a great plaza. A plaza with a fountain in the middle of it. There's water everywhere. Little waterfalls, little pools. Every house has its own pool, and you hear the sound of water rushing all the time. And that water, it becomes a sort of music. And that music mingles with real music, flutes, lyres, and singing. And as you walk through the city, you begin to realize every house is both public and private. So every house has a private area, and yet it spills into a public area. So as you walk through Troy, you see everyone, and everyone sees you. They'll often have events. They like to have their concerts, and there's a great sense of civic duty. So people get together to discuss things like, what should we do about the fig tree that's dying? How do we save the fig tree? And then they'll have a committee to talk about the fig tree. And of course, respect for the family. Priam and his sons. They've actually brought Troy peace. They've actually fought off invaders. They've actually given them a life that's worth living. So what you feel when you walk through Troy is a great sense of peace and a great sense of serenity. This is before the war, of course. Now the man called Hector, Shining Hector, man-killing Hector, Hectoros Hippodemoio, Hector, breaker of horses. It's always so hard to talk about Hector. I mean, like, his brother calls him a sharp axe, a sharp edge always cleaving forward. And Hector, he believes in institutions. He believes in family. He believes in country. He believes in the army. Isn't it funny how hard it is to describe a good man? He's a brave man. But deep down, he'd rather be taming horses. But Hector is the eldest son, firstborn, and he's got dozens, and I mean dozens of brothers and sisters, more than 50, by various mothers. Now, I can't remember all their names now. My God, I have to look all that up. It's all written down somewhere. But one brother in particular, Paris. Every time Hector sees Paris, he can't seem to stop yelling at him. And for good reason, too, because, I mean, Paris actually made the argument that it was right for him to stay inside Troy with the women and children than to go out and fight. And even when he did try to fight once, Aphrodite swooped in, picked him up by the little scruff of his neck, wrapped him in a blanket of fog, and tossed him back into Helen's bed, and he stayed there. That's who Paris was. You know, it was a little something like, oh, but if I go out to fight and they take me captive, oh, well, they will hold me for ransom, and then that'll put you in an awkward position. No. Better for me to stay inside with the women and children and live out my days knowing that I am a coward. You know, you couldn't argue with someone like that because he actually made the case for you. And you just had to be like, you are a coward, you know, but if he had just called himself a coward, where are you going to go from there? Everyone always wants to hear more about Paris. Oh, Paris. Tell us more about Paris. But honestly, Paris isn't that important. Okay, yeah, I know. He stole Helen from Menelaus and brought her to Troy, and that started the war. But oh my god, he's not interesting. Not interesting to me, and yeah, he was so handsome, but he's not interesting. Not interesting to me anymore. No, but Hector, the thing about Hector is that he's proud. He wants to lead the armies. I mean, he won't let them lead their own armies. Like, they've got other soldiers, other commanders coming in from all tribes, but Hector won't let them lead their own armies. He wants to be in command. He's complicated, full of hubris, but also decent. Hector's a good husband and a good father. He's a lot like... One terrible day, when the Trojans are being slaughtered left and right by the Greeks, because the Greeks, well, they've been praying to... Oh my... The gods have made a mess of things. The Greeks pray to Athena, and Athena puts on her helmet and starts to fight in the battle, stabbing her own brother Ares in the stomach, and then he goes running to Zeus, and no, it's a mess. On this day, when the Greeks, with the help of Athena, they hack and chop and decimate the Trojans, pushing them back inside their own walls. Now, Hector and his brothers, they try to hold their ground, but they keep getting pushed back and further, and Hector, he looks at his brothers and he begins to worry that the men are going to run away or hide inside the city walls. Hector and his brother, they realize that they need to get Athena on their side. So, Hector runs alone back to Troy to tell everyone to pray. He comes inside, and his mother, Hecuba, catches sight of him. Oh, my dear child, why have you left the bitter fighting? Oh, why have you come home? Oh, look at how they wear you out. But wait here, I'll bring you some honeyed mellowed wine. Nothing builds a man's strength like wine. No, mother, don't give me mellow wine. You'd stop my limbs. I'd lose my nerve for war. No, pray to Athena. Tell her to stop helping the Greeks. And he runs on. And then, the face that launched 1,000 ships, Helen, she stops him. Oh, my dear brother, dear to me, bitch that I am. Horror, scheming, vicious, horror to freeze the heart. Oh, how I wish that my mother, on the day that she brought me into the light, had been swept up in some black whirlwind, leading me off to the mountains. But since it's all been ordained these last few years by the gods, I wish that I had been the wife of a better man. Oh, but come, sit with the seat with me. You are hurt most by this fighting, Hector. You above all, and all for me, whore that I am. Oh, and this blind, mad Paris. Oh, the two of us. But Hector doesn't have time for this. The only one he wants to see is his wife Andromache and his baby son Astyanax, who's about 6 months old. So, he runs home, but they're not there. He begins to panic. He starts looking everywhere, up and down, trying to find out where they've gone. And then someone tells him they're up on the ramparts, on the tower. So Hector, he runs to the tower, helmet flashing, still in his full armor. There they are. Andromache and his baby boy. Hector smiles. That's a rare thing. Oh, Hector! Why are you just staring at us? Can't you talk? Well, what are you doing home in the middle of the day? Is the war over? Oh, no, 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 it's a bad day for us. I've come to start the prayers. Oh, Hector, please listen to me. You're all I have left. Achilles killed my father, my mother, my brothers. All I have left is you. You and our son. I'm begging you, please stay on the ramparts. You can draw your men up by that fig tree down there, where the wall is weakest. You know, they've attacked us 3 times down there where the wall is low. I can't retreat, Andromache. That would make me look like a coward. I can't do it. Even though every night I wake in sweats, thinking of you, enslaved and widowed, and the boy. Hector reaches out his hand to his son Astyanax, but he wails. Wah! What did I do? Oh, it's your helmet. Take it off, take it off. Oh, no. That's just Daddy's helmet. Oh, here. Someday, you'll wear a helmet like that. Someday you'll be an even greater fighter than your father. You'll have a horse, a dark one, like mine. You'll fly on that horse. You'll fly so high. You'll come home, drenched in the blood of the mortal enemy you slewn in battle. Oh, that's enough. Reckless one, Hector. Have you no pity for him, our son? Or for me, your widow, now so soon to be, and the destiny that weighs on my shoulders? Andromache, why so desperate? No man will bring me down to the house of death against my will, not against my fate. And fate? No man, brave or coward, has ever escaped it. I tell you, it is born with us the day that we are born. But Hector, if you just stayed, I have to go. Give me a kiss. Now stay strong. Don't cry. Pray. Hector puts on his heavy helmet, and he goes back to the front lines. Ever seen a front line? Let's take I want to show you what that looks like. What Hector just now walked back to. With all those bodies scattered everywhere. It's like I have a photo somewhere. It's from another war, but you know, here. On a particularly bad day, the trenches were just full of bodies. Now, this was about 100 years ago, but you get the picture. And there were bodies lying everywhere. And when you see these, you probably think, oh, well, these are a bunch of bodies, but these aren't just bodies. Because this is Scotty. And this is Paul. And this is Brennan. He was 18. He was 20. He was 21. Brennan was meant to go to Oxford. He got a scholarship for his father's writing. His father was a mailman. He would have been the first person in his family to ever go to university. But he didn't. Do you see?